It is once again that time of year. The clues chat in the official Hunter Discord is going absolutely crazy, with 4 different hints being dropped for what the next reserve will be in the Hunter Call of the Wild. Now, it hasn't necessarily been confirmed that it is going to be a new reserve. However, based off of the images that we have seen, it's pretty clear that the images shown are not from any map that is currently in Call of the Wild. Now, a lot of people are speculating this is going to be a European map just based off of the way it looks. I think there is one other option that it could possibly be, but it is looking like there is going to be a second European map put into Call of the Wild, and a lot of people think that it is going to be based around Sweden, which is definitely a possibility. Now, another thing this update is going to be heavily surrounded by is the brand new waterfowl system in the Hunter Call of the Wild, which will completely rework the way the ducks and geese work in Call of the Wild. I'm pretty excited to talk about this, so let's get straight into it. Now, I think the first thing that we will go over is the screenshots that have been posted by Expansive Worlds that have been confirmed to be clues. Now, there is a lot of them. As of now, we have 4. It's kind of cool to see the direction they're going with these hints, because a lot of these images, they look similar enough to maps that we have in the game currently, but you can tell just by looking at the layout of the lakes that it's definitely not any map that is in Call of the Wild, but it's got so many similarities that it really makes you think that it could be a part of Hirschfelden, or that it could be a part of Yukon. So those are 2 options that I was really curious about, is whether or not it's going to be located near those. On one hand, we could definitely have ourselves a European map once again, similar to Hirschfelden. A lot of people seem to think this one would be based in Sweden, based off of the photos, and it does show a mallard duck in it, so that alone would be pretty cool to have mallards in a more European-type setting. The other option that I think is a possibility is that we would get a Canadian map, very similar to Yukon, but obviously it would have some different species. So let's kind of take a look at all the different images that have been posted in the official The Hunter Discord, and also throughout their different social media platforms. If I remember right, all of these were originally posted on places like Facebook and Instagram, and then once they were confirmed to be clues, they did bring them all into the Discord and pinned them so that people would be able to easily spot them. And there was one image in particular that really stood out to me, and it's this one right here, with this mallard duck kind of landing next to some water. Something about this image just got me so excited for whatever this map may be, because it really reminds me of like a prime waterfowl hunting map, and I really think that's what this map will be, considering we've got the Waterfowl Rework just around the corner. You know, it would make sense for them to package the Waterfowl Rework along with a brand new map that is very heavily focused on waterfowl. During the last few live streams here on the channel, we've been talking quite a bit about the possibility of a new map being just around the corner, and there was another thing that somebody pointed out to me that I think the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. And now, at first when I looked at it, I was thinking, there's no way that this could be anything. They would have made a bigger deal about it if it actually was anything in particular that could be a hint. And that was the fact that the word great was capitalized in one of their posts when the rest of the sentence wasn't. So that got me thinking, what if there is a great one coming along with this map as well? And what if maybe it's not a new great one, but what if for the first time ever, we have 2 great ones on one map, or even 3 if they do bring a brand new great one into the game? Because there is a very high possibility that they could also bring some type of great one bird into the game, like a duck or a goose, or something like that along with this Waterfowl Rework. It would also make sense to do something like that because of the fact that this has been such a long-awaited feature to have the waterfowl completely redone and made more realistic. So I feel like it would help build on the hype to just add a great one while they're at it. And I think if they wanted to go one step further, they might do this, and I think it's very, very possible, if this map is set in Sweden or any part of Europe, there's a chance that they could have red deer and whitetail in one map. And that would mean we could grind both great ones without ever having to switch maps. And I already know what a few of you are probably thinking. Whitetail are only in a few parts of Europe, so why would they have them with the red deer and the ducks and stuff? Well, one thing that I do want to point out is the fact that this is a game. They can do what they want with it, and we've seen that in the past with maps like Parque Fernando, where they just kind of throw a bunch of random stuff onto a map that doesn't really fit together, but it works because it's a game range. They could do something similar here, even if whitetail and red deer aren't commonly in the same areas. if they're in the same country, there's a chance that they could put them both into a map, and I do think that there's a pretty high chance that they will, if it is a European map. I also did want to just point out that I actually haven't looked up where Whitetail are located, but I'm going strictly off of what you guys have told me in my chat when we were talking about this. I had a lot of people saying that they are in Europe for the whitetail deer, so I'm going to go off of what you guys said and assume that it's probably true, since so many of you were saying that it is. And if that's the case, I really do think there's a chance we could have a Great One Whitetail and a Great One Red Deer on the exact same map, and that would honestly be huge for Call of the Wild. And if they added a Great One Duck as well, this would honestly be the ultimate map for the Great One grinders. And that, along with the Waterfowl Rework, would probably make this a top map for a lot of people. And I know for a fact that if all of this does end up coming true, and they have 2 to 3 Great Ones along with the Waterfowl Rework, all on one map with a bunch of different duck species, this definitely could be a top 5 map for me. And I'm super excited to see what this is actually going to be. Now, they did mention that there is a long-awaited feature that is also going to be coming with this update, and that we would be getting a look at it soon. So I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to see something crazy like loadouts or possibly a more in-depth gun system. Either of those would be very, very cool, and they're both very highly requested. Even something like filters for your trophy lodges would be a much appreciated change. So hopefully that is going to be the feature that they will be showing off. And I also know I am a little bit late to making this video. These clues have been out for over a week now. But for the most part nowadays, I've kind of got past my phase of just posting a quick video the second the news breaks, and trying to put a little bit more effort and detail into the content that I'm producing. So I did want to wait a little bit so we could get a bit more information about what's going to be happening with this update, and also to get some more opinions from people throughout the community so that I could better form what I think is actually going to be happening with this map release and also with the next update. And I think that is probably the way I'm going to do it from now on. I might do a little quick video here and there whenever there's some big news that breaks, but I do want to do these in detail videos on exactly what I think will be coming a little bit more in the future. And I think the last thing that we will talk about is what I expect to see with this brand new map as a new gun. And with it seeming to be a waterfowl focused map, I would not be surprised if we end up getting ourselves a shotgun. And you guys might be curious what shotgun they haven't put in the game. I mean, we've already got a 10 gauge, we've already got a 20 gauge semi-automatic, a 20 gauge side-by-side, 12 gauge over and under, 12 gauge pump, 16 gauge pump, and the 16 gauge side-by-side version of the drilling rifle. So we've got a lot already in the game. But there is one thing that we don't have, and that is a 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun. The Hunter Classic has one of these, and it is an absolute beast. I would love to see something like that put into the game, and I'm really hoping that that will be the option they go with, because a 20 gauge or a 12 gauge semi-automatic would be an absolute beast. And though it would probably hold less rounds than a 12 gauge pump would, I could definitely see myself putting it in my loadout and using it quite often. So I'm really hoping that we will get a 12 gauge semi-automatic in the Hunter Call of the Wild. And, you know, while I'm thinking about it, let's actually jump over to Classic real quickly and take a look at the 12 gauge semi-automatic in action. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that this is going to be an amazing addition to Call of the Wild if they decide to add it with this waterfowl update, and I think there's a very high chance that they will add a semi-automatic 12 gauge like this. It would honestly make so much sense for them to do so, and so many people would be incredibly happy if they did. And that's why I think it will be the next addition to the Hunter Call of the Wild when it comes to a weapon coming with this potential next map that we are assuming will be coming sometime in June. Now, there is already one shotgun in the Hunter Call of the Wild that is a semi-automatic, and that is the 20 gauge semi-automatic, and we will take down some geese with it as we kind of talk about these last couple things that we could maybe see with this waterfowl update. Now, a couple of the things that I'm really curious to see if they will do is, will we actually get some new feather types for all of the different waterfowl species? And also, will we get some changes to the rarities of the existing ones? I think those are definitely possibilities. And I could totally see it happening with a Waterfowl Rework, considering it would be considered reworking, I guess, because you're reworking the rarity of fur types, so I could definitely see that being a thing. The other thing I'm really curious about is, will we actually get retrievers finally? They did mention there would be a new feature, as I said earlier, and I feel like I forgot to mention that retrievers could be considered a feature as well, so what if we ended up getting retrievers added to the game? You never know, honestly, and at this point, I would not put it past them to add retrievers because it's a very highly requested feature, and it's also something that would make the game a million times better being able to have a retriever go fetch your ducks, and in my opinion, it would make a lot of sense to add that with a Waterfowl Rework. Having two very highly requested things added in one update would absolutely just make the community explode with excitement, and I do feel like it would be the smart move for them. Now, as to whether or not they'll actually go through with doing that, it's hard to say, but I do think there is a pretty decent chance that we will see something like that. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you guys are excited for this new map, let me know down in the comments below. It looks like we're going to be getting some more information on it very soon. Jaxie Beard did say that that feature that is long awaited will be getting shown off in the very next live stream for Expansive Worlds. So stay tuned on their socials and also on their YouTube channel, because I think we're going to be seeing some pretty amazing stuff very soon. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click that like button, and ring that notification bell so that you guys will never miss any of the future uploads. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below, like I was saying, on what you guys are expecting to see out of this map, what you guys are expecting to see out of the Waterfowl Rework, and also let me know if there's any concerns you have with these changes. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!